Episode 722. The discussion group reached a quick consensus, and the order was relayed to the front lines. The 13 guilds had been tearing into each other moments ago, and now they were fighting side by side. The cluster of happy guild tags on the outer ring suddenly scattered into a circle and charged in.
Run!
At that moment, a single command flashed through Happy Guild. Run! The happy members who had surrounded them immediately turned and fled. The major guild players were still far behind, unable to land a hit or give chase. It was a helpless situation.
What the hell is all this chaos?
The guilds were tearing their hair out over aggro, but in that chaotic mess, the Blue Crystal Knight finally made his move. He led his knights in a vicious charge against his target. They had to fight back after being charged, so they immediately counterattacked. The other guilds saw this and knew it was bad. If this kept up, the Blue Crystal Knight was going to get taken out by the guy who just fought back. So they scrambled to stop it again, and in the chaos of everyone pushing back and forth, the Happy Guild players regrouped, none too subtly. Lord Grimm's message was just sitting there in the guild channel, plain as day, making it feel like every guild leader was receiving it at the exact same time. So this time, should we kill him or not? If we kill him, he'll just run off again, stir up another mess, and the boss is still raging behind us.
Split into 2 groups.
Everyone nodded, splitting off a group to chase Happy, while the rest stayed to keep working the boss. Perfect arrangement. With that order, half the force in the western deserts split off to chase down Happy Guild. Happy's people ran, but this time, no one was letting them off easy. The major guild players chased with everything they had. If they couldn't kill them, they'd at least drive these bastards far, far away. Instead of driving them away, they ended up driving them all together. The guild leaders all got the same message at once. Lord Grimm was calling everyone to gather.
Not good. Chasing him like this, all scattered and loud, we're spread too thin.
The guild leaders suddenly sensed something was off.
Don't chase recklessly. Hold formation. Stay disciplined.
Yidu Hantan quickly warned the squad leader on that side, but before a response came from there, news arrived from another direction.
Can't hold on. What can't we hold out against?
Yidu Hantan and the guild leaders were left utterly bewildered.
Boss, the boss can't hold out much longer. The boss can't hold out? Damn it, where's the aggro? Can we still snag the last hit?
Shocked by the report, Yiduen Ten quickly asked about the monster ownership rules in Glory. Simply put, it all came down to aggro. Whoever held the aggro at the end would claim the kill. The items that dropped would be under the system's protection. For 30 seconds, no one but them could pick them up. That sounds simple enough, but the real trick is how complicated aggro calculation actually is. Generally speaking, the last hit generates the most aggro, sometimes several times more than the same attack used at any other moment. It's easy to understand. After all, that blow took the creature's life, so of course it's going to hold a serious grudge. Beyond that, the initial provocation strike also gets a boost to aggro, but it depends on the situation. The first aggro value from a player-initiated attack is different from the first counterattack after a monster strikes. In short, the rules sound simple enough on paper, but the way aggro is calculated is anything but simple, especially when facing a boss. Every boss has a name, a backstory, even a personality, and all those details combine to create a unique set of rules for that first aggro hit. Take the fatal final blow, for example. Some bosses generate 5 times the aggro, while others can produce 10 or even 20 times under that same hit. Some bosses have their aggro amplified when they enter red health, and others are extremely sensitive to the first hit, generating massive aggro from it. So understanding a boss's aggro rules is a crucial part of competing for that boss. Usually, the final blow never disappoints, so the guild leader receiving the report would naturally have that question. When 2 teams' aggro is razor close, the trailing side can often snatch victory with that last hit. But the answer he got only left him more bewildered.
No, it's not that the boss is about to fall. Then what the hell is it? It's us. We can't hold the boss anymore. What? Who's behind this? No, there's no one pulling strings. It's just that all of us can't hold out any longer. Are you kidding me? You all...
Just as he typed those words, Knight crossing the cold pool suddenly froze. He realized how this problem had come about. Meanwhile, their discussion group had already exploded into chaos. Clearly, it wasn't just one guild crying out that they couldn't hold on. It was all of them. Every single guild was getting crushed by the boss. Why was that? The guild leaders initially found it hard to believe. They were about to fire back a retort, but halfway through typing their messages, it suddenly hit them. Why? Why else? For the group taking down this boss right now, this is a clearing run. These players might have unusually high levels, but they were still rookies in glory. Taking down wild bosses was a job for the core elite teams of the major guilds. These people had come from the heavenly domain. Years of fighting in glory, from the regular zones to the heavenly domain itself, had given them more than enough understanding. Dungeons they knew, bosses they could kill. But this group, they were truly doing something for the very first time. The Blue Crystal Knight had only been hunted 3 times on the 10th server so far, and each time it was completed by elite teams from the major guilds. How could these newbie players possibly have experience killing a boss like that? Killing a boss you've never faced before, even with a guide to study. What's so strange about wiping 10 or 20 times? The club guild players didn't pull so far ahead of regular players just because they were all hardcore leveling fanatics. More importantly, the club guilds had experts and veteran players holding the line. So what was the point of having these people around? It was all about cutting losses when leading dungeon runs. These veterans, these experts, they knew how to fight. As for the 5 Greenhorn rookies, every time they cleared a new dungeon, they'd die and respawn more times than anyone could count. In glory, dying costs you experience. Doesn't that slow down your leveling speed a bit? Clearing their way up like this, their levels were naturally worlds apart from those players in the club guilds. And now, these players, who had breezed through their clearing thanks to help from veterans and pros, finally ran into the real challenge that clearing was supposed to bring. Facing the Blue Crystal Knight, a being far more powerful than any dungeon boss, they simply couldn't hold their ground. At first, each guild had so many people milling about in chaos that no one noticed the awkward situation of the players facing the boss inside the circle. Then they actually dared to split half their forces to chase down Happy's guild members. But just as the guild leaders were worrying about trouble on that front after receiving intel that Happy was regrouping, the half they'd left behind to deal with the boss had already collapsed into total disarray.